No, maybe you just don't understand. You see, this is not one of your everyday requests. The sports center is a non-profit community project. You see, you can't treat it like just an average sort of request for... No. Of course not. I was not asking you to sort of make an exception. I just thought if you knew that, maybe there was a different point of view that you could take officially. I see. So, the amount it stands. No, I certainly understand your position. I've been fighting positions like that all day. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a good day to you, too. They said no. It must be so hard to work for a bank. To have to be stern, unbending, unyielding, no compassion all day long, no sensitivity, no understanding of people. I mean, the strain must be unbearable.
They said no way.
Oh, but they said it so voluminously. We regret to inform you. We are so sorry that there is no way. We can, we can't, we mustn't, we're not allowed. Oh, the pièce de résistance. It's not my personal feelings, you understand, we're dealing with here. It is against our bank's policy.
You think they would bend the rules a little?
No way. Oh. No big down payment, no mortgage.
No sports center. Ryan, do you realize you've been on that phone all morning?
Process of elimination.
Must be a rather expensive process with those area codes.
Jessie, they're billing this to me at the business office.
Mind telling me why it's so urgent?
I'm trying to locate my father, and this may be my last chance. Bedford Court in Chicago. Yes, Eddie Phillips' room, please. What do you mean? Either he's there or he isn't. What about a forwarding address? He didn't say? Well, what about his friends or his neighbors? Please, you don't understand. This is his son. I'm trying to find him.
Hey, Luke. Yeah. Okay, there is no record of the Durbins or the Suttons coming into Canada in the last few days.
I found the house.
But maybe they're not even here. Maybe they came in some other way. Anyway, he's going to put up to the computer for me.
Robert, I don't need a computer to tell me Holly's here. I saw her. Of course I'm sure. I was on a bus. I couldn't get off in time. By the time I did, she was gone. She disappeared. Let's go to the house.
He must have known someone there. Oh, what about you? Okay, maybe he left something in his room, a clue of where he went or when he might be back. All right, do me a favor. If he comes back, tell him I called. That's right, his son, Brian Phillips. Thank you.
Where can you call next?
I don't know. Jess, this looks like the end of the road.
You know what occurs to me? We have his medical records. You might want them forwarded.
That hasn't been the pattern so far.
You mean you think he disappeared on purpose?
He's running from a lot of things, and my job's to figure out where he's gone.
Looks to me like he's gone to a lot of trouble to see that you don't find him. Maybe you shouldn't push it.
Jesse, at this point, I don't have the time, and for that matter, neither does he. If anybody's looking for me, I'm up on 2.
Okay.
Jessie, Mrs. Higgins is going to call for an appointment. Make it sometime tomorrow morning, please.
Mrs. Higgins.
Right, and see if her records have arrived from Atlanta.
All right.
Thank you.
You noticed, too, huh?
What?
Brian, his state of mind. He's been looking for his father all morning.
He's afraid of that.
Why What are you talking about, Mark? You said it was urgent.
His father's dying, Jessie. And he didn't want Brian around these final weeks.
Oh, dear. Well, Brian's right. He is hiding.
Brian and I are going to have a little talk. Get some things squared away.
Be gentle with him, will you?
I wouldn't have it any other way, Jessie.
Well, that's not exactly a flat no.
Might as well have been.
Look, how much do we need?
They will give us a $125,000 loan for a $75,000 down payment.
Cash?
You got it.
Phew, I guess that $5,000 we raised at the benefit won't do us much good today.
I'm beginning to think it may be too little, too late.
Well, guess what? I don't think Rick's gonna like this.
Well, fine. Maybe he'll have a better idea when he gets back.
Honey, I just can't believe that after all the work we've done, we're gonna lose the sports center.
Not to mention all the heartache.
Never been one of your favorite causes, has it?
Well, no, in the beginning it wasn't, but it sort of grows on you. You know, especially when you can look around and see all the good it's done with the kids down here.
Yeah, like Blackie.
Well, you can't win them all.
Oh, he's a great kid.
Sure he is.
My baby.
Hi, what happened?
I got careless. Oven door slipped on him, Lesley. I thought I'd better get him over here.
Okay, let's take a look. Uh-huh. Claudia, get me the burn dressing.
Got it.
All right. Okay, you having much pain?
Yeah, it comes in waves.
All right, if you can hang on for a minute, it'll be okay. You know it's all right. I've seen worse.
We soaked it in cold water right away.
That was real good thinking, Ted. If you can wait just a minute or so, I give
Here
you
we
something
go.
for the pain. Thank you. And you'll be glad to know there is not going to be any permanent damage. Get that cleaned up here first.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Missed you the other night, Ted.
Oh, the wife was down with something. How did it go?
Went okay. We got $5,000.
Great. Well, that ought to give you a boost.
Well, not really. We just found out from the bank we only need $70,000 more.
By when?
By soon.
You mean there's a chance that you could still lose the center?
There's a very good chance at this point.
Oh, that's a crime.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that the sports center has done more for this town than all the city's projects. Now, before you started your operation, I had kids vandalizing my place almost weekly.
Yeah.
Now it's like I've moved uptown, not a problem in months.
Well, you're not the only one who feels that way.
I tell you what, I'll write you out a check on the spot.
Oh, no, Ted, that's not necessary.
Yes, it is, and we'll get the other merchants to contribute. Now, how does 500 sound?
Sounds great. And we've only got 69,500 more to go.
Look, I don't like this. We should have gone to the police. First my way, then yours. I did agree to that, didn't I? That's right. Here it is.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
Yes, I certainly hope so. We're looking for help, aid, and assistance. Excuse me.
I don't recall giving you permission to enter.
Didn't you?
Oh, that's all right. Your apology is accepted. We knew it was on the tip of your tongue.
I will summon the police if you don't give me your names and reason for calling immediately.
Nice tie, Robert. Isn't that a nice tie?
I'm a sucker for the 50s.
Sir, this is a private residence. I can have you arrested for trespassing.
Perhaps, but it's not a good idea.
Not unless you want to anger our dear old friend Basil.
And we know what a terrible temper he has. Is he here?
Who shall I say is calling?
Wally and the Beeve.
Australian humor. My name is Luke Spencer. This is Robert Scorpio.
Your reason for calling?
We said it. We're old friends.
Just tell him we came all the way from dear, old, poor, destitute Port Charles to see him.
That should knock a few years of his life.
Is there some problem, William?
These gentlemen maintain they are acquaintances of Master Basil.
The names are Spencer and Scorpio. You must be Percy.
That's correct.
Where's your son, Mr. Durbin?
Basil. I haven't seen him for some time. Perhaps there's something I can help you with.
Perhaps there is. We have several questions aching for answers.
Of course. Although I hope it won't take too long. I was just on my way to the office.
Shouldn't take too long at all.
Right this way, gentlemen. May I get you something? A drink, coffee?
No, I'm fine. Robert?
Got a cigar box there.
Yes, it is. Would you care for one? I have them imported from Havana.
Thank you.
Help yourself.
Very nice.
Need a light?
No, I think I'll save them for a good bottle of brandy.
Be comfortable, Mr. Durbin. Sit down.
What is it I can help you gentlemen with?
We're looking for someone.
Yes, Basil.
No, someone else.
Yes?
Holly Sutton is her name. We know she's here. We want to talk to her.
I see.
Well, you are her uncle.
Yes, but I'm afraid I can't help you.
You know, can't is a really lousy word, Percy. It's almost as bad as won't, which I hate.
I'm sorry, can't is the correct word. You see, I haven't seen my niece for several years.
You said 6 months. Could it be longer or shorter?
It's hard to tell, Brian.
Got to find him.
Brian, he doesn't want it that way.
You don't know that for sure.
He told me and he told Claudia. Eddie wants it this way. And any attempt you make to find him would be wrong. Every man has a right to die the way he wants to.
So what am I expected to do? Accept it? Turn my back?
You have to think about yourself.
Why? None of this has anything to do with me.
It has everything to do with you. I'm worried about what you're doing to yourself. All these overtures you're making are only adding to your own misery.
I have to do something.
Right. You have to think about yourself. The last thing Eddie wanted you to do was to mourn for him.
Mark, I just can't forget him. I spent half my life running away from him. I can't keep on making the same mistake.
You've already done everything you could. But something wonderful happened between you two. You found each other and you accepted each other.
But why does it have to end?
Because there's no choice. Because Eddie wants it that way.
There was so much more I wanted to say to him.
You don't have to.
He's my father.
And you're his son, and you both have that now.
What good is that if it's only a memory?
Because it's a good memory. And it is so special, Brian.
I didn't even...
Didn't what?
I didn't even get a chance to tell him I loved him.
You told him that every time you looked at him. Believe me, he knew. Otherwise, he couldn't leave. Brian, look at me. The only responsibility you have now is to go on with your own life. Take those memories of your father and use them and build a foundation on them. You have good health, you have a wonderful woman, and you have a bright, bright future. Get on with them. Before one morning you wake up and you realize it's too late.
Where do I start?
It's up to you.
You're saying you have no idea what happened in Port Charles?
My dear fellow, I've never even heard of the place.
And you've never heard of Rainbow Oil or any oil swindle?
What about the death of the lab technician named of Al Barker?
I assure you, this is all news to me.
Including the $2 million that was stolen?
Yes. Again, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What about the name Van Gelder?
The name means nothing to me, should it?
I would think it should, since you engineered his death.
That's preposterous.
No more preposterous than the knife we hauled out of the back of Dan Rooney.
You got a great family going here, Percy. Great. Bunch of cutthroat murderers, liars, and thieves.
That will be quite enough, sir.
Enough, pal? I'm sorry. I ain't even warmed up yet.
Listen, Percy, you can't deny it. We have positive proof that your family was behind this entire operation.
Oliver, Reginald, Basil, Charles, all of them.
We want to know where they are.
Well, as you can see, they're nowhere near here.
You're lying. Holly's in Victoria. I saw her.
May I ask where?
On the street.
You spoke.
Not exactly.
Well, then how do you know it was she? There are countless women in this city that could resemble her.
It was she, man. I don't have to talk to her to know it was she.
Look, Durbin, we're here for two reasons. To get Holly and to get back the 2 million Port Charles dollars.
Once again, I must plead ignorance. I have nothing to hide. You gentlemen can pursue any line of inquiry you wish. But I must warn you, you're wasting your time.
Yes, well, that remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Yes. I'm sure you'll find the truth soon enough.
The truth about what?
My family, its influence, its power. For as they say in your country, indeed you are barking up the wrong tree.
Why is it, Mr. Durbin, that your family is hiding in treetops?
Mr. Spencer, I've made a point of being polite with you, but your accusations grow ever more tedious and ridiculous. Now, you will please leave immediately.
Not until I get what I came for. All right? A Louis VII, am I right? Am I right? Is this a Louis VII? I saw it from down there. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had to get a closer look.
You love Louis VII.
Always have.
Right.
Louis VII,
That
right?
particular piece happens to be an heirloom. Jacobean.
The craftsmanship is incredible. Robert, do you notice the craftsmanship?
I noticed from here.
Do you mind if I touch it?
If you do, I shall be forced to polish it.
Oh.
An idea I don't relish.
No need to worry, William. Mr. Spencer was just leaving.
Without the tour?
What tour?
Well, of this magnificent house, of the magnificent old architecture. That happens to be a hobby of mine, you see. I'm very into old architecture.
Perhaps another time.
Robert, we're invited back.
Hey. No, I was merely being polite. But if this boorish behavior of yours continues, you'll see a dramatic change in my personality.
The real you, right?
I'm not going to ask you again. William, escort Mr. Spencer down the stairs.
With pleasure, Sam.
Is this an antique as well?
Doesn't look old to me.
Oh. Percy?
The purse, please.
It must belong to the missus.
You shouldn't leave stuff like that lying about. I mean, you don't know who's going to pick it up.
Give me the purse, Mr. Spencer.
Well, of course. I'm so sorry.
Now leave. William, the door.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Next time, I hope we finish the conversation.
There isn't going to be a next time. I want you off my property and away from my home. And if you make any attempt to contact me again, I will have you arrested.
Oh, rats. We've worn out another welcome.
Take a good look at this face. Percy. I'm the guy who's about to reduce your empire to rubble.
Like David.
Huh? A biblical analogy. How perfect. Okay, Goliath, I'll see you on the field.
Shall I have the car brought around, sir?
No. I'm not going anywhere this afternoon. And when Basil comes in, you tell him I want to see him immediately.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. Smith. Sure. That's 100 for Mr. Smith at Bellevue Liquors.
Terrific. And I just talked to Hans at the deli. $50.
50.
So what does that make altogether?
That's $220 plus the 500 we got from Mr. Ogilvy brings us to
$720.
You got it. Not bad for a day's work.
I don't know, Claudia. It's nickels and dimes compared to what we need.
Yeah, but we still can't quit.
I don't know about that. I'm beginning to think it's all a big waste of time.
You mean all of this work?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was a great idea in the beginning. But I think we have to realize that it has been nothing but problems ever since.
Yes, but it's still worth it.
I don't know. I really don't. Claudia, I have a family. I have a kid who needs me, who is going to be grown up and gone all too soon. And I don't want to wake up one day and realize that I lost precious moments with him that I can never get back because I was out raising money for other kids.
Yeah, but we're forgetting those other kids are less fortunate.
That doesn't mean that my kid doesn't need me just as much.
Oh, honey, we all need him. Both sides.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's why I feel so torn apart, so like somebody's ripping me down the middle. It is a question of priorities, and I simply have to stop and take a few deep breaths and decide what's important to me in my life.
You mean besides your husband?
Well, he is the most important thing in the world to me. But you have to remember, Claudia, that this is really his cause.
Yes, only he can't be here now, so we have to help.
Maybe I'm just a selfish person.
Oh, no, you don't. Now, don't you start calling self-honesty selfish.
No, but see, I always say to myself, well, I'm trying to do what's right. I'm trying to do the best thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a selfish thing. Maybe I'm not doing it to help other people. Maybe I'm just doing it because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, but who cares? As long as the result's the same. So our hearts are not in saving the sports center. If we do, the goal's accomplished. Do you really believe all of those merchants care about saving the center?
Well, no, probably some of them don't at all.
Not at all, but they contributed, and we have to do the same.
Well, I wish Rick were here. I would really like to talk to him about all this.
Okay. Pretend I'm Rick. Come on. Just pretend I'm Rick. Now, what would you say?
I would say, I want to spend more time with my husband and with my family. I hope I would have the courage to also say to him that for a long time now, I've just felt like an appendage in his life, that ever since this sports center thing started, all I've been able to do or allowed to do was just to follow around after him, applauding and being a cheering section instead of a wife, and that...
Come on, get it out.
I have to say this to him, not to you.
You'd say that you'd still work with the sports center.
Well, I will now, sure, but I'll at least be honest enough to say I'm not doing it for humanity. I'm doing it for him.
No argument for me.
Okay, fine. So I'll get it out and start all over again.
Get what out?
The phone book. Gosh, there must be just hundreds of merchants in there that we haven't called yet.
That's my girl.
He's lying to us. I don't know, Luke. Oh, Robert, of course he is. The old man is lying. It's like father, like son. Where do you think Basil gets it?
Look, the Durbins are an old and respected family.
Are you telling me that old, respected families can't lie, cheat, and steal?
Not as a rule.
Well, then how do you explain Basil?
Maybe he's an outcast.
Reginald, Oliver, Charles, the beat goes on. No, the old man is lying to us through his polished teeth, and I have the proof. There was a purse at the top of the steps. I thought it was Holly's, and now I'm sure. That's her credit card.
How'd you do that?
I slipped it out of the purse. Genius, I suppose.
Okay, point taken. That payphone, I'll call that customs guy.
Right there.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.